Good afternoon, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this afternoon, St. James man charged after allegedly breaking into woman's house. A St. James laborer has been charged after he allegedly broke into a woman's house, stole over her while she slept, and attempted to touch her before fleeing through a window. Alton Jarrett, 26, of Renteland, Monte Carey, has been charged with a burglary. The incident occurred around 3 a.m. on April 24. Reports from the St. James police are that the woman was asleep in her room when she was awakened by strange sounds. Upon check-in, she saw Jarrett, who is reportedly known to her, standing over her. He allegedly attempted to touch her, but she moved away and raised an alarm. Jarrett reportedly escaped through the bedroom window. A report was made to the police, and Jarrett was later arrested. He is scheduled to appear before the St. James Parish Court on May 1. Firearm seized in Anchovy, St. James during police operation. A driver has been arrested over the alleged seizure of a firearm in his motor vehicle during a police operation in Anchovy, St. James on Saturday. A police statement said on Sunday that the discovery was made about 10:45 p.m. after a police team stopped the vehicle. A subsequent search of the vehicle revealed a 9mm Browning pistol with a magazine concealed in a bag, along with 3 9mm rounds of ammunition found in the driver's door, the police say. The driver, the sole occupant of the vehicle, was arrested. U.S. deports a Jamaica national wanted for murder. Van Anthony Ford, a Jamaican national who has been wanted by local authorities for murder, was deported by the United States Immigration and the Customs Enforcement Agency. Ford's removal demonstrates ICE Philadelphia's unyielding dedication to protecting public safety by addressing significant threats within our communities, said ICE Enforcement and Removal Operations Acting Field Officer Director Brian McShane. This operation highlights the expertise and the persistence of our officers in locating and apprehending individuals wanted for serious crimes, ensuring accountability and preventing further harm, he added. ICE said authorities in Jamaica had issued an arrest warrant for Ford on February 22, 2022 for murder. The U.S. Border Patrol arrested Ford near San Cedro, California on July 18, 2022 for entering the United States without inspection or parole by an immigration official, ICE said, adding that the next day the Border Patrol served Ford a notice to appear, charging inadmissibility pursuant to Section 212 of the Immigration and Nationality Act. ICE said USBP transferred Ford to ICE San Diego on July 20, 2022. On July 24, 2023, an immigration judge in Philadelphia ordered Ford removed from the United States. The Montgomery County, Pennsylvania Court of Common Pleas convicted Ford of retail theft on December 17, 2024, and sentenced him to pay fines. On the same date, ICE said Ford was arrested during a targeted enforcement action and transferred to the Massanutten Valley Processing Center in Phillipsburg, Pennsylvania, where he remained while awaiting deportation to his home country. Judiciary to live stream select court cases for greater transparency. The Jamaican Judiciary is to begin live streaming appropriate court cases on its YouTube channel, according to Chief Justice Brian Sykes. He said the move is part of the Judiciary's efforts to enhance transparency and the public access to court proceedings. Speaking at a swearing-in ceremony for 2 members of the Judiciary at the King's House on Thursday, Sykes said the Court of Appeal successfully live-streamed its first full broadcast in March. The case, Cecil Moore v. R., involved 9 judges and centered on an important point concerning sentencing, mandatory minimums, and the Constitution. Going forward, we will be live streaming appropriate cases. We want to do that both in the trial courts and in the appellate courts. it's easier to do so in the appellate courts, Sachs informed. But we want to also extend that to the first instance courts as a part of public education generally and actually letting people see what happens in a court and also reinforcing the right of access to the courts, Sachs explained. On April 7, the Judiciary implemented a new security policy for entry into the Supreme Court Public Building East. The measures were instituted to enhance the safety and the security of all court users and the staff. Among the measures are the security screening, which is to commence at 9 a.m. daily, and the issuance of color-coded passes corresponding with specific floors, restricting movements within the building. We have put in place security measures, which you might have seen some articles in the newspapers that persons are complaining about. But one way of managing it is to have greater access via the YouTube facility in appropriate cases, Sachs stated. Cases are live streamed at www.youtube.com/@JamaicaJudiciary3412. Additionally, the Judiciary is to introduce digital recordings in the court system starting on Monday of this week, aimed at improving efficiency in producing transcripts. Sachs noted that timely production of transcripts has been a long-standing challenge for the courts, often resulting in delayed justice and reduced sentences. It allows persons to go to the Court of Appeal to argue that because of the length of time that it has taken to have their appeals heard, they are delayed justice, and therefore, most times, they are asking for the conviction to be quashed. But so far, the Court of Appeal has not acceded to that, Sachs indicated. He shared that it usually translates into a reduction in sentence if the Court of Appeal agrees. The Easter term of the court starts on Monday, April 28. JFJ condemns the shooting of cops and a woman by gunmen in Kingston. Jamaicans for Justice has condemned the shooting of 2 police officers and a female member of the public by gunmen in Denham Town, Kingston on Saturday. The Human Rights Lobby group, in a statement on Saturday, said it was deeply saddened and extends heartfelt wishes for a full and swift recovery to the 2 law enforcers and the female bystander. Whenever law enforcement officers are harmed in the line of duty, it constitutes an attack on the state itself, threatening the safety and the stability of our communities, JFJ said. The injuries of the cops are not considered life-threatening at this time. Reports are that about 2:35 a.m. on Saturday, officers from Kingston Western Police Division were on mobile patrol in the community when they observed a man acting in a suspicious manner. Further reports are that, on seeing the police, the man ran onto nearby premises and the officers pursued him, but the man managed to escape. Sometime later, the police observed a group of men with high-powered guns on Water Street in Denham Town, close to where a party was being held. The gunmen subsequently opened the fire at the police, who returned the fire. When the shooting subsided, 2 police officers and a woman were found suffering from gunshot wounds. They were taken to hospital for treatment. The Independent Commission of Investigations and the police are probing the developments. Meanwhile, JFJ has commended Indicom and the Denham Town Criminal Investigations Branch for their prompt responses and is calling for a thorough, transparent, as well as impartial investigation into the incident. Those guilty must be found quickly and brought before the courts for justice to be served. Jamaicans for Justice remains steadfast in its commitment to advocating for justice, accountability, and enhanced community safety across Jamaica, the human rights group stated. JFJ and the Jamaica Constabulary Force have been at odds over the number of police fatal shooting incidents so far this year. The figure has surpassed the 100 fatality mark for this year, according to Indicom. Amid the lobbyist group's stridence against the constabulary's present rate of fatal shootings, JFJ has come under much public scrutiny, including criticism from the police hierarchy itself, which has contended that the high rate of fatality has been attributable to the frequency of brazen gunfights which the law enforcers are faced with, which, with their superior training, more often than not, ends with the gunmen being cut down. Guys, thank you for watching. See you this evening at 6 p.m. for another news update.